Get. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Just a little housekeeping. Hellos.
Yeah.
Yo. Well, welcome to the show. Hang on a
Wait.
minute.
Oh, are we on right now?
It is streaming, but
You
I've
haven't
not.
started recording.
No, not the audio recording. No.
Okay.
So,
Hold on. Let me close my door really quick.
all right. This is the pregame right now. So
Okay.
let's see. Let me just turn up the volume a bit.
Is the audio on my end okay?
Oh, your audio's fine. It's perfect. Okay, so gonna start recording audio in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody, on this Saturday morning of January 24th of 2015. I'm your host, Anthony Bionis. With me on Skype is none other than Chris
Yeah.
Bionis.
Yeah. Hi. Hello.
And if you guys are wondering, Greg is not with us this morning because he is off helping out his crew, Half Energy. I always forget the what the other E stand
Is
for.
it? Oh, okay.
But like he's helping those guys with MagFest. They're doing a Mega Man 3 marathon right now. If you guys can go check it out, do so. But anyways, so we're going to be talking about some of the latest news in the past week in the game industry and anything related to it, as well as our esports minute. So to start things off, so I came across this one of the first things I want to talk about. So as Greg has talked about this in the past, Evolve has been a game that been worked on that has some closed betas, open betas out for people to try out and check out. And excuse me, yeah, and people have said either really good things about it or they've been not so kind about the game. So, and what I got from Greg, it was the game was pretty good. So this was a bit interesting in terms of what people are saying now about the Evolve featured DLC. And then as the director, here's a quote from the Evolve director on DLC, and it quote, "I don't like people thinking we're doing underhanded, dirty shit for our DLC prices for Evolve." And the reason why people are kind of accusing them of that or wanting them to or seeing that in that perspective is the breakdown of their DLC. So the game $60, season pass if bought separately $30.
That's
Um,
$90 right now. That's $90 so far.
mm-hmm. Fourth monster, $15. Fifth monster, another $15.
And those monsters are not included in the season pass DLC.
Agreed. And this is presumably the fifth monster coming out on to March 4th, or to March the 4th. Um, and that would be a grand total of $120 if you want the full Evolve experience. Um, so uh, I don't know, like in terms of like in pricing, I think $15 is a little steep for a monster if you ask
That
me.
is. It's a little excessive for a piece of, just for another essentially game piece in the game. It's like as if somebody charged. They created a pack of say guns. Like they do this with like Killing Floor, I think, where they create a pack of guns. They're completely unnecessary. It can add to the game if you wanted. They're a little overpowered, but
Mm-hmm.
it's I believe under $5 or $10 for those weapon packs. Whereas, I mean, I can understand maybe with this whole monster bit because they have to do a lot more, a lot more stuff is involved than rather than just making a weapon. But regardless, I think that $15 for DLC, if it's not something that's going to create more hours of content, I think it's not worth it unless on a deal or on a
Agreed.
sale.
Agreed. I think that like it's because essentially the only thing I can compare this to, if it ever did happen, was the Left 4 Dead series, and in Left 4 Dead, I think the only thing they charged was
Do they even have any paid DLC?
I need it.
I don't think they did.
Actually, you're right on that one.
I'm
Well,
pretty positive they didn't.
yeah, but just for an example, let's just say Left 4 Dead charged for its zombie types to be if you wanted to play against them. Like say for
Like, say that they didn't include like the jockey and the what is it, the charger or something.
yeah. Like say like those was DLC zombies and you have to pay for it in order to play against them. You'll get people who are diehard fans who will buy the price for
Yeah,
the
like
pay.
day one.
But then like you get some who just want to play the main game and then don't have to worry about it or not even
Well, I mean,
see
there's
it.
also other circumstances where people are just, like, I don't really want to dish out another $15 to work with your people, and you have to know what your class is all about. So I feel like this kind of game is a little different than, say, Left 4 Dead, where you can just jump in, hop in, and play.
That's
This
true.
one,
That's true.
so I'm thinking that the fan base audience will be a little smarter, a little different. Hopefully a little smarter, yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. I think that it is a very different game, and this game requires much more teamwork, much more communication in terms with everybody, in defeating this monster, or just playing as the monster itself and
Yeah.
having this
You
different.
have to know like the knowledge of what you're doing, or you could just kind of mess with it, but you're more than likely gonna die quick.
Yeah. Let me ask you, since we're on the topic of Evolve, I've heard many people suggest that Evolve could be an esports type of game. Do you think it could be?
Um, honestly, I don't know too much about Evolve to say. I know that there's some skill trees involved, and that there's different like abilities and kind of play styles for certain classes, but I don't know enough to really. I can't really say I have an opinion about it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
No, I mean it would be. I would. I'm not gonna lie. It probably would be pretty cool to see Evolve as an esports kind of game.
It would be very interesting. I'll give it that. But I don't know. Personally, I'm not sure if it will be able to be. I don't know. It'd be weird. I would be interesting though. No doubt.
Yeah.
So, as I eat my bread on camera.
Yeah.
So the next thing I want to talk about. Recently Microsoft they had some big announcements this past week in terms of their new Windows 10 browser, Spartan, as well as some of their other products. Also, talking about their new OS as well coming soon. I'm not sure when exactly, but so they announced that DirectX 12 is exclusive to Windows 10, and this is something they did before. Vista was a they had an
Yeah,
exclusive on.
DirectX 11, right?
Yes, there was an exclusive for them when that came out, and that lasted like what, maybe a year or less than that, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't really see it lasting too long before I could, use it on, say, Windows 7 or maybe even XP.
Yeah. So like, and they said like if you want to play this, or at least from what I saw, like you have to have a new graphics card to play this.
Oh, so they're trying to get you to buy a whole new system basically in general then.
Yeah.
Because I mean with the move of just making it exclusive to the OS, then you're forced, if you want to buy games that use it, to I guess the maximum degree, you have to buy the Windows 10, and then with the Windows 10 you have to go further.
Yeah. Um. My personal thoughts on this is just that, um, like we've seen this dance before. Like I'm not too worried that the DirectX 12 is going to be only on Windows
Yeah.
10 for forever.
Yeah, I don't think it will be.
Mm-mm.
It'll eventually make its way to other OSs, probably older OSs, Windows 7, Windows XP. Is anybody using XP anymore?
You know what's funny? I think people still are.
Would it be compatible to use DirectX 12 on
No,
on XP? I
I
don't think
don't think
it
it
would be.
will. Even if you
Yeah.
had like the latest graphics card on your computer, I don't think it'll work with the
Yeah.
OS.
Yeah, I think it's just well, I mean at the very least I think it would work with maybe Vista, but I know that smarter money's on Windows 7 getting it a lot quicker.
Yeah. Then again, who's using Vista at this point? So.
Yeah, that's my point is, who's really I mean unless they're absolutely forced to,
Mm-hmm.
I really doubt it.
Yeah, agreed. Um. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But also during the event, they've also announced that Xbox One will allow streaming to any Windows 10 PC. It just seems as of late like companies are trying to hop on the stream bandwagon. In terms of competing with Twitch, because Twitch is the biggest stream monster.
Yeah, they're the kings of streaming gaming streams anyway for now.
Yes, agreed. Um, so Microsoft's jumping on the bandwagon. Steam recently did the announcement of their own streaming service on their platform.
Oh.
Um, it's I'll say this, it depending on how well the stream is, and the connection to it. People who want to have that ability to just kind of pop in, hop out, watch a stream from Xbox One. That's cool. But like
Yeah, I really like that integration. That is pretty cool.
I do. Um, and maybe for some friends, maybe that's something that somebody would want to do and not touch Twitch. Because for one thing, I mean, it's one thing that it is kind of notorious for Twitch, is that and it's not indicative of all Twitch chats.
Hmm.
But some Twitch chats are pretty bad in terms of
Oh, well,
what's in there.
I figure that that's just, Twitch being Twitch. I don't really care so much about the Twitch chat. That's it, it has a mind of its own. People just kind of jump in and say whatever they want and, I guess in all caps shout it, but, it doesn't for me the Twitch chats add a little bit to the content that I'm watching for the most part. Mostly because of how, ridiculous and crazy people, like, I guess I wouldn't say are, but, what the shit that they do on Twitch chat. It's funny. It's amusing. I like it.
Oh yeah, I do too. It's just
Would you
I
see it being a problem with the streaming on Xbox One or something?
um I wouldn't in terms of a Twitch chat, something like that similar, or talking about in terms of just having a Twitch chat or a chat just to be there.
Uh, huh?
In terms of like, would it be you mean like a problem as in like something like a Twitch chat, the way that the behaviors in that, or do you mean like just in chat in general?
Oh, just it being a problem in general.
Oh, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
I think having a chat in
I think having a chat open and for any program is that's liable to happen.
yeah
That's gonna happen.
yeah. So like it's I think having chat in streaming is cool. It gives you a more interactive experience.
Sure.
Talking with your fans, or talking with people you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
that part I like. That's cool.
I personally like the idea of the Xbox One being able to stream on the Windows 10. Like say somebody's just oh I got to get a new laptop next year. Then okay, I'll get one with Windows 10 since it's the newest OS, and then if they happen to have an Xbox One, even better because then they could fully use both items to their like fullest extent, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Um, so one of the next thing I want to talk about real quickly, and this was a big thing that happened in I think it was in Korea. I think it was. Also here in the U.S. as well. So League of Legends is having their next World Championship to be held in Europe. Um, and League of Legends is such a huge thing right now with the likes of Dota and other esports, but they're particularly pretty up there in the top. Uh, and I see it as it's pretty cool. I'm curious to see how it would do in Europe in terms of the amount of people going to go and watch it. Because like ever since it has been to like several stadiums like in the U.S. as well as like Korea and other places
Yeah,
around the
last
world.
year it was just in a South Korea, right? It was in one of the stadiums they used for like soccer a bunch.
Yeah, and I believe that stadium was sold out. Like that was nuts.
Yeah,
That was
yeah, no kidding.
crazy. So I'm loving the growth of this. I'm loving the fact that they're branching out to other big stadiums and big places for people to go check out and
Yeah, different countries and everything.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Kind of make it as a more international event actually if you think about it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, and it says here, right, doesn't have exact details, but they confirm that it is in Europe.
yeah, so yeah, I think that yeah, I mean I'm excited to see the next one. Like I played League for a little bit, but just one thing I would like to see, and it might be the case this
Well,
time around.
I'm not big on League, but I really like their championships. It's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, definitely. There's one thing I would like to see, and this is something that I saw during the Dota 2 championship in Seattle. Um, I would like to have a separate stream where they kind of explain everything like a big like a noob
Hmm.
stream they had
Hmm.
set up, and I would like to see that for the next league championship game.
Yeah, that would be that that might actually attract a lot of the newcomers. Say you're just watching Twitch, you're on Twitch, every day watching your favorite streamers, and you see that's being broadcast. So you jump in and you're like, okay, well, I get that this is happening, but I don't know what they're saying,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So
Because
when that happens, it could be. I think that they could even attract an even bigger crowd by having an own separate stream explaining, like, okay, well, this is what this term means, and this is what this technical play is what this person did, and this is why it was so good, or something.
yeah, definitely. Don't get me wrong. Like I'll tune into some league matches every once in a while,
Yeah.
but like half the time I'm like looking at the screen. I'm kind of thinking to myself, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. It's well. Yeah. It's certainly not something that you can just jump in and be like, oh, okay, well, I know what I'm gonna do now, and it's definitely something that took me, a couple weeks to even just learn about.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, so let's see, we got 8 minutes. Yeah, let's do that. And recently there has been some layoffs that have been hit with Defy Media, which consists of the Escapists, Game Trailers, and Game Front. Let's see. So few people from them have been affected, including Escapist Greg Tito and pop fiction creator Michael Damani. I think his name has to pronounce his name. Anyways, um, more and more I've been seeing lately. Some of these websites that have been around for a while are starting to get some layoffs or shut down completely.
Yeah, and the people are saying that I think Game Trailers had another layoff about 6 months ago.
Did they?
Yeah, so yeah, this isn't the first wave, I suppose, of layoffs that they might be having. This might, yeah, this might be coming for a while,
Yeah,
at least for a good time period.
yeah. I mean, it because here's the thing. Like for me, I grew up in the age of where these gaming websites were pretty popular. Like
Yeah, One Up, IGN,
mhm.
what was it, GameSpy?
Yeah, GameSpot, Game Trailers. And then later on was Destructoid. Like
Yeah,
these were some of the websites I grew up looking up and looking reviews and reading its articles,
yeah.
and they've been around for such a long time, and it's only been recently that they've been seeing some shutdown in terms of what, and in terms of as of late, and I mean like part of it I do believe that because of community websites like NeoGAF and Reddit,
Hmm.
that information is much faster.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
people
word
are
spreads around a lot quicker.
people are talking about reviews much more like in a sense of like what everybody else thinks instead of what
Yeah,
one
kind of
person
a
thinks.
community review essentially of,
Mm,
of a game. Like I think the recent one I just saw was on what was it, that game called Grey Goo
yeah,
for Steam? People
yeah,
are saying
yeah.
it. They're very surprised. It's a really solid RTS. So I'm like, I mean that's the opinion I've gathered after reading a couple of reviews of just people just playing it. And that's not really. I'm not looking at IGN or like PC Gamer or something, for instance.
Yeah, definitely. So it's definitely a change of times, but we've changed some websites to adapt. I think the best example of a website adapting to all this has been Giant Bomb,
Yeah.
and Giant Bomb has been the best in terms of like adapting to what exactly the internet wants in terms of what they want from their game websites.
Well, I don't think that Game Chillers does anything wrong with the way that they do it. Like how they present, their video reviews of games. I really like their style and format.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of a shame that they, have to suffer from all these layoffs. I don't know if that's really going to be affecting that kind of thing, but kind of
Right.
hope not.
Right. And somebody's websites, like some of the people who kind of helped made that website are leaving
Yeah.
on their own because of using Patreon as a way to
Yeah.
continue their own content, but also getting paid by people who want to see that content.
Is
So,
Rev 3 a thing anymore?
last I checked, they still are, but I remember a lot of people left. So I wouldn't doubt if they end up closing, or end up closing down the website.
Yeah, it looks a little BuzzFeedy now.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's a change of times. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It is.
I really like I really like the content that they produce. It would suck if they ended up going under or something.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Okay. I think I'll save the Pokemon Tekken thing like for the next segment. But before that, I'll do a little early esports minute and talk about a little bit of esports and bear with me, guys. I forgot to make the slides for it, so I'm just gonna just read off. Or actually, hang on. I got something for you guys. So here, I'll put on esports minute. All right, and then I'm gonna put on screen capture, and bam. Oh, wait, it's awful. Oh, that is some. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Whew. Okay, there we go. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Okay. So here's your esports minute. Brought to you by Notepad. So last weekend was Paragon, the Smash tournament. I think it was held in Illinois. I don't know, maybe somewhere in California, because a lot of big players were there last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
If you find that out real quickly, that'd be great. But no,
Yeah, that was last weekend.
I mean,
it was
the location of it.
Oh, it was Orlando.
Orlando. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so here are your top three in each category. So, starting from top to bottom, Super Smash Bros. Melee. First place was Liquid Hungry Box. Second place was Mewtwo King. Third came in was Leffen. Project M. First place was Mewtwo King. Second place was Plop.
PLOP?
Yeah.
Plop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Third place was Liquid Hungry Box. For Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, first place was Mewtwo King. Second place was VS Nick Riddle. And third place was Static Manny. For Super Smash Bros. Melee Doubles, first place was Liquid Hungry Box and Pulp. Second place was Shroomed and Mion / SF8AT. SFAT. Oh, SFAT, yeah. It took a minute to realize that. And then third place was Leffen and MacD. And then that would be... I was in the Paragon Smash tournament. But also, last weekend was League of Legends expansion tournament in Europe. And out of that tournament, first place was Gambit Gaming. Second place was Counter Logic Gaming, was from out of the U.S., and third place was Rocket. Now I did see that there was like a different flag for Gamma Gaming and Rocket. They're the same country. I want to say it was a European team, but I can't recognize it.
Maybe you're representing different regions or something.
Yeah. But yeah, there you go. That's your kind of janky esports minutes.
Esports minute. Yeah. Well, to add comment, I'm not very surprised that Mewtwo King is dominating the melee. Not even the melee scene. He's dominating most of the Smash scene recently.
Yeah.
I'm really not surprised. I mean, hearing that Hungrybox and Mewtwo King were mostly top threes for most of those categories of the games that they did play.
Right.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Again, I'm really not surprised. They're very high caliber players in the Smash scene, so you know. Mm-hmm. I would be more surprised to hear if somebody else made top 3.
Yeah.
So like an unknown or something.
I hear you, definitely.
Some Falco Master, maybe.
the ever legend of the Falco Master. So getting back to the show. So the next thing we're gonna talk about, and this is something that you and I have a better knowledge than anything, is Evo.
Oh,
the Evo announcements were happening. For people who don't know, Evo is short for Evolution.
Evolution Championship Series.
Mm-hmm. That is always held in Las Vegas, and is considered probably the biggest fighting game tournament in the world.
Yeah, a lot of players from all different sorts of countries, regions of the world come to stay in Las Vegas for that frame of time, and it's just fighting games all day, all night fighting games. Mm-hmm. There's side streams, there's streams going on at 4 a.m, there's streams that start at 8 a.m. for the pools. It's an all day thing.
Agreed. I've been there last year. It was my first time going, and I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Watching some of the great performances in all games, and getting really excited for each one. With that said, recently they announced their lineup for this year. So let me just show you guys. All right, so we have at the top Ultra Street Fighter 4, mm-hmm. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3,
yep.
Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, Guilty Gear Xrd, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat X, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax,
yep.
Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Tekken 7, which Tekken 7, the game is not done.
It's not out yet.
No.
It's is it even in arcades? Not even in arcades, huh?
Yeah, it is actually in arcades in Japan.
In Japan, okay.
But
they're bringing the arcade cabinets to Evo.
Yes,
and straight from Japan.
Yes, and they're also bringing them to other places in the U.S. where people can use the practice.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so that they'll have some practice in. Mm-hmm. But obviously Japan's gonna just dominate that just because they have more time with it there.
Oh, definitely.
Let me just go back into this actually, so I can have a good look at this. So,
this lineup isn't. I would say this lineup is typical of Evo for the last couple of years. However, I do have my complaints.
As well as many others.
Yeah. I mean, the big one for me is the fact that Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Okay, don't get me wrong. Persona is a great fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel that I don't know. I don't feel like it'll get as strong as a following as, say, Guilty Gear 3rd, as far as stream numbers. Viewers.
Yeah.
Because when I see anime fighting games, it's very hit and miss. With Guilty Gear, sure, I'll watch it because that's very fast paced, very interesting. Mm-hmm. Persona 4 is also very interesting and fast paced, but it's just that the way that it's played and the lack of knowledge exactly of what exactly is going on, since it's so fast paced, and to be honest, I would have liked to have seen Blaze Blue make a return, or even
Yes. Well.
KOF 13 for anybody who's still playing that game. um, uh, and Mortal Kombat 10 hasn't come out, has it?
No,
Not
it
yet.
will come out in
So
March.
they're putting in some games that haven't come out, but they're, and I guess you could say the same thing for Killer Instinct, since I think the second season DLC, when is that coming out? That's not for another month or so, isn't it?
Oh, they've been in the midst of the second season. Characters coming
Oh,
out.
okay. So then
Uh,
the characters are going to drop in the middle of this lineup then, and then
I
before July.
I would say right now, at least from my knowledge, a good part of the characters have came out already for season two. There's still a few left in terms of a few to be released.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure they'll be released prior to Evo happening.
Yeah.
It's the same case it was like for Ultra Street Fighter 4 last year. Like the Ultra Street Fighter 4 didn't drop until like a month before Evo.
Yeah, I think that was a little different though, because it wasn't adding in, like it was more adding in more mechanics with what like a few new characers, whereas
It wasn't even that. There was a lot of balance changes too that were
yeah, a
made
lot
for
of
each
balance
character.
changes.
So like you had to learn up and practice every matchup before Evo,
Or
and
even then, I feel that people couldn't be as prepared as they wanted to. But then that's what I feel like why they put it on there was to put everybody at that certain fair disadvantage.
right. I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair though, well, shit.
And where
Yeah.
with Tekken 7, I feel like the Japanese players are going to get all the advantage,
Oh yeah,
as well as anybody else who has access to the game, as to all of the local U.S. Tekken players, where they won't be able to really get the chance to play it, but they'll have the other games of Tekken. So there might be some differences and balances to the game and new characters, I believe, right?
yeah. Like the Tekken 7 is a whole nother story for me. I do think that having them have the arcade cabinets right now or first, and then have the U.S. have it later on. Like that's and here's the thing. Like playing in arcades are a thing in the past, and people are more inclined to play on console or at home
Well,
on a computer.
it's a thing in the past in the States.
Yes, it's
Let's clear
true.
that.
That's true. Yeah. But like in Japan, they are going strong with the arcade scene still there, and over here it's less of that. So it's
Yeah, it's very bare here.
yeah. So it's definitely a different mentality when it comes to that, and I do feel like Tekken 7 isn't it's cool, and I like the idea of having it playing on a cabinet, but at the same time, it's kind of odd to make that announcement. Um, what we'll say about the lineup though, having two anime games in the lineup is pretty cool. I like that. I've not seen that in a long time in terms of
Yeah.
having those particular games in there. I agree that um, Persona 4 I don't think should be in this top games to be streamed.
I mean, this is. I'm not really sure. I mean, to be honest, I could say that Persona 4, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken 7 aren't really going to garner the most amount of viewers. Whereas the other lineup, Marvel Ultra and the Smash series and Guilty Gear, those are guaranteed. I'm more than certain those are going to get a shitload of views,
Right.
viewers in.
Right.
Whereas the other games, I'm not so sure. The community's sure they'll watch it,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure about any other people otherwise. I know when I certainly watched Killer Instinct last year, it was only for the grand finals.
Yeah, I can't lie. When I was there last year, like I literally saw that, put my Spider-Man mask over my eyes, and took my glass off, slept for for a little bit, because like Killer Instinct is, it's not really,
different.
yeah, it's not really fun to watch, to be honest.
It's like I think it well, no, I don't think it quite suffers what Injustice did, because Injustice had a completely boring audio-visual game. It was very boring to watch, but it was fun to play. Whereas I think I haven't played Killer Instinct, so I can't say it's not fun to play. But I know for certain that it has a great audio-visual when it comes to the game, of
Right.
being hit, of seeing the sparks fly, I think it's just a little bit too much visual with all the particle effects with each hit of Killer Instinct. It's still a solid game. It's just that it's different. It's different in how people are gonna watch it. It's different how people are gonna take it. With these new characters coming out on the second season, it might get a little more popular. With TJ Combo and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But only time will tell. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, if I were to take out Persona, I would take out a game out of the Evil lineup.
I would take out Persona.
I would take out Persona and then place
And
it. Yeah, actually, I would agree. Actually, the only reason why, because I'll still bring Tekken 7, but have it as a kind of like halftime show, like kind of
like a preview tournament.
Yeah, or show it during the stream, like kind of a preview of what this is, but soon to come, or even just bringing the cabinets for people to play on.
Yeah.
I would, in place of both Tekken 7 and Persona. I mean, like, in terms of, like, if I were to put another anime game, and this is something that people have been playing for the past couple months and had some real good positive feedback off it, is Unio. Unio's been...
Oh, yeah! I heard so many people complaining that it was not...
Yeah, I heard the same.
Everybody was saying Unio. Unio is Under Night in-birth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's another anime game that people are really loving and excited about.
I've just seen even Spooky play.
Yeah, definitely. And the funny thing is that Unio is the same guys who made Multi Blood. Yeah. Even has some of the same life bars and meter than it was in Multi Blood, which is kind of funny. But yeah, like people really wanted that game, and they were obviously pretty disappointed. And I would even consider Blaze Blue, but I think the reason why Blaze Blue wasn't there is that I feel like Evo was afraid of what happened with KOF. While KOF for the past 2 out of 3 years had great grand finals, or top 8, they're afraid that Blaze Blue will come in and like not have that, or like it will be like
that it's such an old anime game at this point that they could bring in new content, so they decided to bring in new content instead.
Yeah. And the issue with specifically with Persona is that, I mean, right now I saw on Twitter that or tweets said that they're working on getting the new patch out to fix some of the new things that are
there like game breaking glitches or something?
As far as I know, few players have said they really want the new patch to come out as soon as they can, because they've heard that Japan saying that the patch that the players over there are playing is really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, because right now they say they don't like the game right now in terms of how it is balanced.
Oh, so are you saying that Japan got the patch first?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh.
So, and another thing is like a bunch of Japanese players are going to come in force for this Evo in terms of the anime games, in Guilty Gear and Persona. So I mean, I will have to wait and see, but like Evo 2015 should be a very, very interesting year in terms of this year's games.
To be fair, I think this is a strong lineup. There's going to be a lot of viewers. There's going to be a lot of hype. There's going to be a lot of comebacks. I know that there's going to be a lot of comebacks.
Yes.
I'm excited for this. I'm hoping that it won't be. I hope that things will fall in their specific time frames this time, rather than have tournaments go on for an extra 2-3 hours than according to plan and schedule. So we'll see. I'm hoping for the best out of this Evo.
Agreed. I will say, I want to say one last thing about it is like, for Mortal Kombat X, please do all the fatalities just every time.
Yeah, I would really. I mean, that's the one. You have to learn all the fatalities though, because when you pull up when people pull up the command list, you hear a lot of boos.
Yeah, I mean, there's one comic to kind of describe that. So Penny Arcade did comic on that, where like the player is like, okay, I practice this fatality, I know what to do and everything. He gets up close to the character, and then he just hits punch button and then slaps Scorpion, and then he falls down. Yeah. Oh man. So the other thing I want to talk about is also FGC related. Is that the Apex organizer steps down in light and recent harassment controversy.
And Apex is a Smash Brothers tournament. I don't know where it's held in, but I believe it is one of the biggest Smash tournaments.
Yeah.
I think it's in San Diego.
I don't know. I want to say yes, but I want to say it's in the Midwest. I think, but I could be wrong. But yes, Apex is the biggest. I'd say if there was an Evo for Smash, that would be it.
Yeah, and to note, even Nintendo partnered with them with Apex this year, sponsoring them, which they have not done in the past. But this also means that Project M could not be allowed in the lineup of games.
For obvious reasons.
Because they don't allow modded versions of their games being publicly played like that. So that's fine. That's fair. I believe that's fair in sponsorship from Nintendo.
Agreed. So the head organizer of Apex, his name was Alex Strife. I think his name
is Alex Strife. There's a lot of controversy surrounding it because of recent events where I believe he was basically outed from a lot of people, well, from some people, for sexual harassment of people of underage girls, which was, if you're talking about anybody, that's a really bad thing to, like, that's automatically like, okay, well, this guy's really bad then, because there is people that are, players and people that have been with the community for years, and put up their chat logs from years ago. Put up people have been tweeting, confirming certain stories, or they're starting to release their stories about how he's affected them, and it's been very typical of the result, which usually ends in him harassing somebody, or somebody that they know. So it was very big. It was a very big deal for the Smash community and the Smash scene to really try to figure this out and get it situated, because as somebody who is, I think he was the co-founder of Apex.
He was, yeah.
Somebody who was a co-founder, he's top level. So that doesn't really look good for somebody at that kind of position.
Agreed. Yeah, it's definitely disheartening to hear that. But from what I've heard from a lot of people, that it's been an ongoing thing for him, and I think this time around, because of Nintendo sponsoring the event, I think that people really came out and wanted him to.
They wanted him gone.
Yeah, they don't want him to be part of the scene anymore. And good on the community for calling him out, and good on the community to really speak their voice and kind of make these claims with the evidence they've shown so far. So yeah, definitely, I think that having him gone is a good thing.
Yeah, and they removed him quickly after that. They made sure that they were listening to the people, listening to their community, and they took care of it very quickly and effectively, in my opinion. Honestly, I think they're in better position and better standing right now with people. So
agreed.
But, I mean, Apex is in general.
Definitely, especially with that freaking 1,000+ people registered.
Yeah,
for
it was a lot for Melee. More so than the new Smash.
Yeah, I believe. Did they cap it? Because I remember there was there was like 1,000.
They did cap it. I think it was like 1,028 or something.
Okay, wow, that is crazy. And then I heard Smash 4 was almost near 1,000.
Yeah, they were at 700, 800, I believe.
Wow. Yeah. So it's everything is going up right now for Apex and for the Smash scene. My only in going back to the Evo thing, my only fear is because there never was never a cap for Evo in terms of like people who register for games.
So are you afraid that there's going to be a cap this year?
No, I'm just afraid that is there going to be enough space? You know,
Oh,
like
well, they have a very large venue. I don't think it, in comparison to Apex, I would think that with Evo, they'd be fine.
um, from what I've heard, like people saying that it's going to be okay. Just have to use like maybe one, like more than one or two rooms to do it. The place I was there last year is moving to another location in Vegas. It's one of the other locations they used prior. What I've heard from people and players that they enjoyed that location better than what we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
So it is doable. I'm curious as far as like how many will enter because like if we
I mean,
reach,
there's a large amount that enter in pools for Street Fighter. That takes all day.
that's true.
But
yeah.
they get it done in the day. They make sure that everybody. Well, okay. Last year there was a bit of issues with the pool,
yeah.
streaming wise, and who was shown and who wasn't, as well as which streams should have been available to it and which weren't. Like Bifu, but you know, it's just we'll see this year.
Definitely. And I think So, since this is the FGC half hour in terms of the show, the one last thing I want to talk about in terms of before we close the show out, so there has been a game that has been shown. Hang on, let me push play on this.
Attention.
But what was it? So yeah, it is the Pokemon fighting game
Or Pokken tournament.
Yes. So I've seen this in action. They've shown some videos of gameplay recently.
There was. I believe it was yesterday. There was new gameplay footage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is a very different take on the Pokemon series. The closest thing we had to this was like maybe Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah. I mean that could be comparable, but even then, this is more of a free-form 3D fighting game within a certain space. So, the characters they get like it's almost like an arena battle, where they're thrown into a circle pit and have a fight. So it's in 3D form. It reminds me specifically of the Naruto fighting games. Mm-hmm. Visually, how they look, how they might play. It looks really cool. I like the visuals. I like I liked seeing some of the fact that there might be a combo system. Especially with more of the fighter Pokemon like Lucario or something. But it's in development by what was it, Harada, the guys who are making Tekken or behind Tekken.
Yes, definitely.
Which might hint at the name Pokken.
Yes.
Which is it is it's only a 2-letter difference from Tekken, so.
Yeah, definitely. There are definitely a lot of Tekken influences in this game, especially with some of the characters. Specifically when they showed off Pikachu and like when he does some moves, especially like his and then we call it electrics, but like basically it's like an uppercut move, but you can like hit it multiple times. And that move is taken out or is almost the same as the same electric move in Tekken with what was it the Jin and
which are you talking about?
The clan name Jin and Hachi's
Oh, I don't know. I don't really play Tekken.
Okay. I want to say like the Kishimas or something to that nature, but basically, some of the moves that are in Tekken are very similar to what we see in Pokemon, and it's really cool. I mean, I think it's funny, in terms like of what it is, but I'll be down to play it. Honestly, I'm be down to play this.
Yeah.
Like
No, I'd be more than I'd buy that day one. Shit.
Like, I think the coolest thing about it is that it's taken a franchise that is already pretty well known, and then using a different mechanic or element to it. The cool
Well,
thing.
this is the fighting game that people have been asking for. I presume have been asking for years.
Yes,
For a
agreed.
Pokemon fighting game, that's something that we haven't really had. We've had, Pokemon battles in, the X and Y, or what is it, the new Ruby and Sapphire, but um, it was, traditional to how the game was played. So this is just a lot different from what's been available.
Agreed, and it's cool. I like it. So I'll be definitely down to play. And I want to see what what other Pokemon characters are included. Yeah, I'm excited. This game looks cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just so before we close out, I wanted to add one thing. And this is just recent that I've heard, is that Borderlands 3, there's going to be an announcement on Sunday at PAX South.
Oh, really?
Yes. What was it? Randy Pitchford teasing a Borderlands 3 announcement. I just want to say, I really hope it's different from Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel, because while I really loved Borderlands 2 a lot, I mean, I played a lot, but the pre-sequel was a little bit disappointing in how it didn't change much at all from 2, It just seemed more like an expansion pack, if anything. So with Borderlands 3, I'm hoping for something a little different, some improvements, something that's going to take the grind away from Borderlands 2, because while I didn't mind, it definitely became a grind-heavy game, more towards like the middle to, late game.
Yeah, agreed. I didn't know that, so definitely.
Yeah, this is pretty new news, I believe.
Yep. If you guys are watching this right now, be sure to check out PAX's stream. I believe it's just twitch.tv/PAX. And they're streaming PAX South all weekend. And I think it's on schedule in terms of like one of the panels to stream on their channel. If not, be sure just to be on the lookout on Twitter and on other places for the latest updates and news about Borderlands 3 if it's announced tomorrow.
On Sunday. It's I'm not sure if they will for certain, but I'm hoping that they do.
And with that, I think it's time to wrap up the show. Thank you guys for joining us to watch it this morning. Sorry I wasn't at 10. I slept in a little bit, but it's okay. We made up for it. Before we go, Chris, where can I find you on the internet?
I believe they can find me at Twitter, handle Old Milk with a Q.
And you can follow me personally on Twitter as well at Defected Naruto. You can follow the work that me and Chris do on our website at missionstarpodcast.com. Hang on a minute. Actually, I got something for this. Hang on, so it loads up. Bam! There we go. Yeah, missionstarpodcast.com. Recently, we've been putting up our coverage of Anime LA. We have videos live right now on our site. We have photo galleries of photo shoots and cosplay galleries. We are still in the midst of uploading a few more things left from Anime LA, so be on the lookout for that. We have our own photographer at PAX South now, getting some coverage there as well. So to expect a lot of stuff to come down the pipeline for sure. And also, if you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher. You can also subscribe to our other podcasts as well. If you'd like to hear about our experience at conventions, please subscribe to us for the Conover. And if you like comic book talk, entertainment news, or just plain silliness, follow Jeremy's podcast, The Rolling 20s, on iTunes and Stitcher. But I believe that's going to be it for us. And Yeah. There will be no show next weekend. I will be at AOD covering that. But there will be a podcast. So that is one thing for sure. And anyways, with that, we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.